So being single is not inherently a bad thing, and many people choose to be single for various reasons, right? Including by choice. But if you're single by choice, let me save you time because this video is not for you. However, if you're looking to form and maintain healthy relationships, I've got some real talk lying ahead for us today in this video, so keep watching. My name is Jessica. Welcome back to the channel. So it's established at this point in time that you're looking to get out of your single situation. It may be good to acknowledge that there may be certain behaviors or habits that make it harder for you to form and maintain romantic relationships, right? So let me highlight 8 of them in today's video. Number 1 is refusing to compromise. Are you guilty? Now, relationships require compromise and flexibility. If you're someone who always insists on having things your way and isn't willing to meet your partner halfway, or would-be partner halfway, it can be challenging to sustain a healthy and fulfilling relationship. Compromise is crucial in relationships because it allows both partners to feel heard, valued, respected, and all these things are important. In any relationship, there'll definitely be differences in opinion, preferences, needs. And when 2 people are in a romantic relationship, don't forget, they're 2 unique individuals with different backgrounds, experiences, personalities, and therefore it's only natural that they will have different perspectives when it comes to things. If one partner always insists on having things their way and isn't willing to consider their partner's needs or wants, it can create a power imbalance in the relationship. It can make the other partner feel unheard, unimportant, resentful, you name it. Over time, this will lead to feelings of frustration and dissatisfaction, and even resentment. Compromise, on the other hand, involves finding a middle ground where both of your needs and your wants basically can be taken into account. It involves being willing to give and take, to be flexible, and to find solutions that work for both of you, right? When you're both willing to compromise, it creates a sense of teamwork and collaboration. And it allows both of you to feel respected, valued, and heard. So if you want to stop being single, learn to compromise. Number 2, being emotionally unavailable. Now, if you fall into this category, basically you like to avoid discussing your feelings in your personal life. You're always steering away from conversations and topics that are personal or emotional, or you're vague and evasive when asked about feelings or past experiences or future plans. You have a partner of short-term relationships or avoid commitment altogether. Or maybe you just have difficulty forming deep connections with other people or are generally just afraid of intimacy. Another thing could be you don't initiate contact with people or are slow to respond to messages or may not respond at all. You keep your distance, both physically or emotionally, from people. You may even be uncomfortable with certain levels of displays of affection. You have difficulty expressing empathy. You're generally dismissive or do not understand why people close to you feel the way they do. And I get it. Sometimes there might be a history of trauma or unresolved emotional issues that make it difficult for you to form those deeper connections with people. But it's something that you absolutely need to work on if you want to find someone who will love you for you. Number 3 is being too needy. So on the other hand, being excessively clingy or needy can also push potential partners away. It's important to find a balance between being affectionate and respectful of your partner's boundaries and independence. Being needy refers to having an excessive need for attention, for validation, for support, from other people. It can manifest in different ways and can be detrimental to personal relationships if left unattended or addressed. So what does it mean to be needy? Well, to give you some examples, constantly seeking reassurance from your partner or friends. Such people may repeatedly ask if they are loved or if they're doing a good job to feel validated in their relationships. Secondly, an inability to be alone. Needy people struggle to be alone or feel uncomfortable being by themselves. They may always need to be in the company of others or in a relationship to feel fulfilled. Need for constant communication. The kinds of people who need constant communication from their partners or friends. They may become anxious or upset if they don't receive a response to a message quickly enough, or may feel neglected if they don't hear from their partner regularly. And there's the whole over-reliance on others. Needy people may rely too heavily on their partners or friends for emotional support or to help them make decisions. They struggle to make their own decisions or cope with challenges independently. They're jealous and possessive. Needy people may exhibit signs of jealousy or possessiveness, and they may feel threatened by their friends or partners, or may be overly clingy or controlling. These are all things that you need to look at. Number 4, you're single because you're overly critical. Now, if you're always nitpicking and criticizing people's behaviors, it can be difficult for you or for people to feel appreciated and valued around you. People can be overly critical in relationships for various reasons. Maybe you're a perfectionist, right? You have high standards for yourself and inadvertently, have high standards of people. So you might end up focusing on their flaws or mistakes and being overly critical of them rather than acknowledging their strengths and positive sides. It gets tiring being around you. You're insecure. People who feel insecure or lack confidence in themselves may criticize their partners as a way of deflecting attention away from their own flaws. You're controlling. People who seek control in their relationships may use criticism as a way of exerting power over their partner. They may believe that their partner should conform to their expectations, and criticism can be a way to enforce this, right? Or perhaps you're just overly critical because you have unresolved issues, past experiences that are all contributing to that critical behavior you have when you try to get into relationships. For example, maybe someone who's been hurt or betrayed in the past may be overly critical of their partner to protect themselves from being hurt again. It doesn't help. The 5th reason you're single is because you're self-centered. If you prioritize your own needs and desires above those of your potential partner, it can be challenging to form a healthy and balanced relationship. It is essential to be aware of your partner's needs and actively work to meet them. Let's do a heart check on you, right? Let me know how many of these you score, okay? You're self-centered if you lack empathy. Self-centered individuals often prioritize their own needs, desires over those of others. You lack consideration. You make decisions without consulting your partner or disregard people's feelings and desires. You struggle to communicate. And I'm talking about communicating effectively with whoever's in your life, right? You dominate conversations or interrupt people, making it difficult to have the most open and honest conversations with you. You struggle to make compromise. You prioritize your own needs over the needs of a relationship, or maybe unwilling to compromise on issues that are important to other people. See, it's not all about you, and you need to realize that. So yeah, how many of these are you guilty of? Let's keep it moving. The 6th habit that's keeping you single is being unreliable. If you frequently cancel plans or fail to follow through on commitments, it can be challenging for anyone to trust and rely on you. Being consistent and dependable is essential for building a strong, stable relationship. And reliability is key in long-lasting relationships because it builds trust. It creates a sense of security, right? Reliability is important in providing support because people can rely on you to be there for them when they need you. It creates a sense of safety, comfort. Plus, when you think about it, being reliable is a sign of respect for the people in your life. It shows them that you value their time, you value their feelings, right? And you're committed to nurturing whatever the relationship is between you. Do I need to keep going? At this point, it should be pretty obvious why being unreliable is preventing you from having a meaningful relationship. Number 7, let's face it, you have unrealistic expectations. Now, if you have overly high or unrealistic expectations for people who come into your life, it can be challenging to find someone who will meet your criteria. It's essential to have reasonable expectations or be willing to compromise. These expectations, unrealistic as they are, can keep you single in so many ways because you end up rejecting potential partners who don't meet your standards. It will limit your dating pool, make it more difficult for you to find someone because if they don't look like a model, forget about it, right? Unrealistic expectations can also lead to this impossible standards that you set for someone who come into your life. For example, if you're expecting your partner to be perfect in every way or expecting them to fulfill all your emotional and social needs, there's nobody who can do that, right? Maybe you're struggling with compromise. You're unwilling to make concessions or negotiate with your partner, which will create tension and conflict in your relationship. No two ways. You're overlooking positive qualities. Maybe you're focusing too much on your partner's flaws or their shortcomings. It can lead to a lack of appreciation, gratitude, which will erode at any relationship you attempt to form over time. The last habit keeping you single, number 8, is being too guarded. And I get it. Things have happened to you, right? But if you're overly guarded or protective of your emotions, it can be challenging for anyone to get to know you on a deeper level. Vulnerability is a crucial part of intimacy and connection. If you're afraid of being vulnerable or sharing your insecurities with your partner, it can make it challenging to develop a deeper bond. It's really that simple, right? Being vulnerable, though, a lot of people don't realize, has so many perks, like enhancing your authenticity, right? It means being authentic and honest about your thoughts and feelings. When you share your vulnerabilities with people, you're showing them your true self, stripped bare. Empathy. Vulnerability can lead to greater empathy and understanding in relationships. When you open up to others about your struggles, your challenges, you allow them to see things from your perspective and develop a greater sense of empathy and compassion. I would say, careful who you open up to, though. Vulnerability is essential for building trust, because when you share your vulnerability with others, you're demonstrating your trust in them and giving them the opportunity to demonstrate their trustworthiness in return. Intimacy. Vulnerability can lead to greater intimacy in relationships. When you're willing to be vulnerable with your partner or with a potential partner, you create a safe, supportive environment for intimacy to develop. Being vulnerable can also lead to personal growth, self-awareness. When you acknowledge and share your vulnerabilities with others, you're taking steps towards personal growth and developing deeper understanding. Think about it. It's time to do some personal work. If you're one of those who aren't single by choice and you're looking to form new, meaningful relationships that last long, then beware of these habits that I spoke about. They'll make you a better person. Thanks for listening to my spiel. I'll catch you in the next video. My name is Jessica. Cheers.